new news, but it's good to get him back in the building. And I think we all know how the energy that Eric brings and what he gives to a football team. So, and he's coming off a heck of a season with the Chicago Bears. My hat goes off to the Bears and the great job that they did there. But and then on the other hand, we had another great coordinator here too with Matt Nagy, and this gives Matt an opportunity to go out and run his show there and do what he does best, taking 2 Super Bowl championships with him and 3 Super Bowl appearances. So he'll and a top 10 offense that he was working with this past year. So he'll go out and be able to put his own mark on things, and that takes my name off of it, and he gets the purity of it. I was hoping that it would be a head coaching position. It still might be that. He deserves that for definitely for sure. And if that doesn't work, it gives him an opportunity to step in as a coordinator and run a show from there. So it's a win-win, I think, on both sides for both coaches. And again, we're glad that EB was able to come back in and jump in that position and bring all the knowledge that he has likewise to the table. So with that, time's yours.
Let's start with Sam McDowell.
Hey, Andy, and Sid, I'll have a couple things, but first, those of us who are at training camp every day, can certainly see the impression that EB leaves out there on the players and on the field, but in what ways did you notice that you needed that back?
Yeah, well, I thought Matt brought great energy too with his. It's different. It's a different, they both have their own personalities that they share with it, and EB does. He's going to be very direct with the players, very direct with the coaches, and it's a different flavor. Both have been very productive in this system here, so I think it's a win-win for us that way. But EB brings there's nobody like EB on the field that way. That's one of his, and with the players, he does a great job there.
Obviously, when you've got an opening, you could go several different ways with it, and you choose to go with EB. Just wondered if you interviewed anyone from the outside and kind of what your thought process was on prioritizing what EB brings versus maybe what somebody else might have brought.
No, I did talk to him. EB was in the playoffs, so
Yeah.
wasn't able to talk to him until after he was done there. So, but had to make a move fast. There are a lot of openings here, Sam. And so if one guy's going one direction, you got to make sure that you can fill that position and do it as quickly as you possibly can. So at the same time, was still being able to talk to others. So to answer your question, yes, I did talk to other people.
Let's go next to Jesse Newell.
Hey, Sid, I'll have a quick follow-up too. Hey, Andy, just to start off with, you seem pretty fired up about this. Can you go into why this hire fires you up?
Well, listen, I'm fired up to get in this without quizzing him here, Seren. I would tell you that that's probably what he was saying.
He also said someone who would bring in new ideas every day, I think was the way he phrased it. I know you've had different people come in, I think it was Chris Holt was the Nevada coach, and this offense obviously looks real different than, say, the way Bill Walsh was running it with the 49ers, right? You've never been afraid to change and adapt. Is that something you have to constantly remind yourself that it needs to happen? Do you when you win, when you have the kind of success you guys have, are you liable to maybe fall into a rut and not look for the different kind of changes that maybe you would otherwise?
Yeah, I think we do a good job with that. We try to give you a little different flavor every year and stay ahead of things. I think we've got to do a better job all the way around and every area. I think that's important. And so you go through and you hammer this thing out. You take every offensive play, every defensive play, every special teams play. You go through it. You make sure that you've got guys that are aware of the league and how things go there, different trends offensively, defensively, and on special teams. And you use all the technology that's out there. There's no reason to be stagnant. You've got too many different options. You shouldn't have to bring in the latest, greatest here and there and all that. That's not, um, you've got all that right at a fingertip for you if you want to go that route.
Okay, we'll wrap this up with Matt Derrick. Go ahead, Matt.
Hey, Coach. One quick question: how do you anticipate play calling work with Eric? That was one of the big things when he left, was the ability to call his own plays and kind of have his own offense. How do you anticipate play calling working with him coming back?
Yeah, so listen, I still enjoy calling plays, but what I do is I'm not afraid to delegate and get opinions from people, and then even in certain situations, letting them go ahead and call things in different areas. So we do this jointly. I keep it open, and I felt that that's the best way. I want guys that contribute. I want them to work hard and be expert in their area, as in, and then cumulative in all areas. So it's I've always mixed and matched there, I guess I'd tell you, Matt, and it seemed to have been fairly productive.
And you've mentioned that you want to get things fixed and cleaned up from what went wrong in 25. What do you feel like is the biggest way that EB can do that? What's the area where you feel like he can make the biggest impact?
First of all, I'm going to tell you this, Matt. Find a year where I haven't said that. Now, maybe you can pull it up, but every year I'm going to tell you whether we win the Super Bowl or not, man. There's areas that we got to go through and hash out here and make sure we get better at. So I think that's every year. I think it's every game. If you can kind of keep that mentality through the day, you're going to be okay, and get yourself better. But I think EB, what are some of his strengths? I think he's got a great knowledge of the offense.
Andy Reid, the mastermind behind the Kansas City Chiefs' recent dominance in the NFL, has finally put an end to the swirling rumors that have kept football fans on the edge of their seats for months. Travis Kelce, the superstar tight end whose electrifying performances and charismatic personality have made him a household name, is officially back in training for the new season. For weeks, speculation about Kelce's future ran rampant. Whispers of his potential retirement, fueled by cryptic interviews and social media silence, sent shockwaves through the sports world. Would one of the league's greatest tight ends hang up his cleats at the height of his career? The anxiety was palpable, with fans and analysts alike dissecting every word, gesture, and Instagram post. Kelce, known for his playful banter and larger-than-life off-field persona, only added fuel to the fire when he appeared at high-profile events during the off-season, often sidestepping questions about his playing future with a sly grin. Some suggested he might be eyeing a full-time entertainment career, while others wondered if injuries or the sheer toll of a decade in the NFL had finally caught up to him. Then came the moment everyone was waiting for. Andy Reid, never one to mince words, stood before a packed room of reporters and addressed the elephant in the room. With a characteristic twinkle in his eye, he announced, "Travis is back. He's in the building. He's training hard, and he's hungry for another ring." The announcement sent social media into overdrive. Chiefs fans erupted in celebration, their dreams of another Super Bowl run suddenly reignited. Opposing teams, on the other hand, no doubt felt a collective shiver run down their spines. Kelce's return means defenses will once again have to contend with one of the most dynamic and unpredictable offensive weapons in football. But what does Kelce's return truly mean for the Chiefs and for the NFL as a whole? For starters, it signals that Kansas City is not ready to relinquish its place atop the football world. With Patrick Mahomes at quarterback and Kelce as his favorite target, the Chiefs' offense remains as dangerous as ever. Their chemistry is the stuff of legend, a near-telepathic connection honed over years of high-pressure battles. Every snap holds the potential for something spectacular, a no-look pass here, a seemingly impossible catch there. Kelce's presence also does wonders for the locker room. Younger players look up to him, both for his relentless work ethic and his ability to keep things light when the pressure mounts. He's the heartbeat of the team, the guy who gets everyone fired up before kickoff and keeps morale high through the grind of a long season. His leadership is as valuable as his on-field production. Off the field, Kelce's influence is just as profound. He's a marketing juggernaut, a crossover star whose appeal transcends the sport. From his highly publicized relationship to his infectious sense of humor, Kelce has a knack for staying in the public eye. His return guarantees that the Chiefs will remain must-see TV, not just for diehard fans, but for casual viewers drawn in by his charisma. Of course, the decision to return couldn't have been easy. The NFL is a brutal league, and few positions take more punishment than tight end. Every catch over the middle comes with the risk of bone-crunching hits. Every block requires grit and determination. Yet, Kelce has always thrived on the challenge. He's never been one to back down from adversity, and his competitive fire burns as bright as ever. In many ways, Kelce's story is the story of the modern NFL superstar. He's not just an athlete, but an entertainer, a brand, and a leader. His journey from a third-round pick to a perennial Pro Bowler and future Hall of Famer is a testament to his talent and tenacity. Each season feels like a new chapter in an unfolding epic, with fans eagerly awaiting what comes next. With Kelce back in the fold, expectations for the Chiefs are sky-high. The prospect of another deep playoff run, another shot at a championship, looms large. The AFC is stacked with talent, but few teams can match Kansas City's combination of experience, skill, and sheer star power. For Kelce, the motivation is clear. There are records to break, legacies to cement, and rivalries to settle. Every Sunday, he steps onto the field with something to prove, not just to his critics, but to himself. The love of the game, the thrill of competition, and the pursuit of greatness all fuel his drive. As the new season approaches, all eyes will be on number 87. Will he continue to defy Father Time and rewrite the record books? Can he and Mahomes conjure up more magic on the gridiron? One thing is certain. With Kelce back in training and Andy Reid calling the shots, the Kansas City Chiefs are once again the team to watch. The countdown to kickoff has never felt more electric.